Right, and I start sharing my screen with the presentation and then with the live demo. Okay, so I believe that we see everything. Hi again. Thank you for joining today's webinar about root cause analysis in contact center. I'm Elena, CEO and co-founder of Turing, and today I'm from Estonia with you. Quite snowy and stormy, but still a good time to make this presentation. And it's a little bit dark in my room today because at my place it's already late evening, but next time I will have the better lighting for everything. Okay, so what we are talking about today, why we talk about root cause analysis in contact centers. We started talking to many companies what they are looking for in analytics software for contact centers and what they use at the moment. And we noticed that a lot of companies still lack a really great process of root cause analysis. Everybody tried to do this, and all the companies do this in their own manner. But we found out that it probably could be a little bit easier and better for everybody. So when we start with analysis in contact center, first of all, with the linked data. When we talk about the linked data, we mean that it's not only the data that we have from contact center software, for example, SLA parameters, HT, and all others, but the other data that can be useful for contact centers to find and to link to the contact center data. What is this? This could be data from CRM systems on the results of the conversations. It can be data from third parties if company orders the quality assurance process or assessment of client satisfaction and others that can be linked to the current contact center data. Then the linked data about, if we're talking about not only customer service, but sales process, everything that connects our conversations with the final business result. The same for other companies who track, for example, logistics processes. Then for all the softwares inside the company, all the infrastructure that can give agents and managers in call center more information about the client, about the previous or historical data with the client relationship, or maybe some predictions on further actions. Then this data has to be in direct access. What we mean about the direct access, that people from contact center should have this access, not the business analysis department or data science department, but exactly the units that need to take an action and need to have a full visibility in this root cause analysis and the results. And this data collected together or linked together should be easy to manipulate. It shouldn't be something that we work in Python notebooks or something for programmers, for data scientists. No, it should be quite useful for and easy to use in normal interfaces that people get used to work with. So the results that we got from this data should be relevant and in time and actionable. So when we work with the external departments to analyze something, some extraordinary situations, some peak loads, or something that is out of the range of normal activity, it means that we delegate it to, and this process can be quite long, and the result that we get could be not in time or can be obtained in the way that we cannot take any action on it. And I get to my mind gets one example of analysis of the situations by topics. So in the contact center, when we try to understand what's going on and why people are calling too much, then what we can see from standard reports, what's the topic, maybe a little bit in details, subtopic of why people are calling, why we have the speaks. But actually it doesn't give us any answer why. It just provides us the answer on a little bit of clarifying on what topic people are calling, but not why. And this exact why is what we want to know with root cause analysis. And in a little bit later, I will show how we would approach this. When I was talking about the linked data, we think that in general, and we saw great results in some companies who integrate seamlessly call center software with CRM, with BI systems, business intelligence, or analytic systems, plus other systems that they manipulate. It's really difficult. Not every company is able to do that. Sometimes legacy softwares that has very poor APIs and cannot be connected together. But in case your company is able to do this as much as possible. So all the data should be interlinked, and then the analysis could be really good and thorough. Here is an example I would like to provide. First of all, the company that we talked to, they had a problem, high rate of agents hang up on clients. And they tried to figure out what's going on. Why so many hang-ups from the agent side to the client calls? And this is financial services company. So they actually spent approximately 1 month to searching through all the parameters, all of the calls to understand what's going on. And then we came in with the analysis of the content of the conversations. And in 2 hours, they already knew what the problem was. And the problem was, in their case, that they had an automatic dialer who made outbound calls to customers. And when the customer takes up the phone, then the dialer should transfer the call to a live agent. And it took, the problem was in technical setup, and the dialer took approximately 4 or 5 seconds to transfer the call back. 4 or 5 seconds is just huge amount of time of customer listening to nothing. So customer was saying, hello, hello, are you there? I don't hear you, hello, and then hanging up. But still the dialer was in the process of transferring the call, and the agent was picking up the phone, and nothing is there, it's just silence. So agent was trying to say again also, hi, hello, nobody, hang up. How we managed to find out this very fast, we applied speech analytics that, first of all, created from those very short conversations, speech to text, and we put the tag. If client many times repeat, hi, hello, are you there? I don't hear you, or something similar, then we marked these conversations as no connection. And the client was able to filter in huge amount of conversations that they have, even short conversations when client hang up or something happens, only with the tag, no connection. And they very fast realized that something is something is happening on the IT side. So they provided this data set, like collected, filtered all these conversations and showed this batch to the IT department, and IT department quite easily recognized what was the problem. So sometimes to get this analysis, it's not enough just to, I don't know, set the topics or something, but in this case, the speech analytics solved the problem. Another case, interesting, that when we say the topics and notes from agents are not enough, we have to add context to the analysis of root cause is interesting. We always say that please pay attention to top performers in the contact center and see what people are struggling with, and try to help those that have lower scores. But it was interesting that one of the most experienced employees in the contact center showed up with the really poor results in customer satisfaction. And they were wondering, like, what's going on? Because, like, we listen to the conversations, and we're absolutely happy with his work. But still, when we compare it to the customer satisfaction rate on his calls, it's just absolutely not well. So applying the analysis of the context of the conversations, it was defined that all the difficult cases, all the, how to say it in mild words, bad situations were ending in hands of this employee. So all the frustrated customers, all the cases that couldn't be solved as the client of that bank wanted to be solved right here, right now, just was impossible by the processes and everything, was dealing, this person was dealing with such cases all the time. So he was really extremely well doing, but it's natural by the context that customers of those calls never have been happy. So when we apply only topics, we only see the notes or analyze the notes that agent leave. It doesn't provide us this background. And with the background, we didn't find anything better than apply speech analysis. So conversation analysis, the technology with the machine learning or natural language processing that analyzes the content of the conversation and also takes into account all other parameters. Like, for example, if this is customer calling second time, third time today, or the first time, if the customer is calling already with some existing very painful problem, or their emotions or their attitude just changed during the conversation. And all these points have to be taken into consideration. Another interesting use case on searching for root cause was the conversion rate vs interest monitoring in financial services company that provides unsecured loans to their customers. So they wanted to understand why for some managers the conversion rate is quite high on selling loans, but the interest is lower than average for them. And they said, like, okay, if we will make that the interest rate that they sell to customers is higher, then we can have more revenue quite fast. And then the content analysis of the conversation showed that those people who have higher conversion rates, not all of them, but some of them, they provide possibility for a customer to get a better conditions without initiating it. So it was their own idea to start selling with the discount. So they already started offering discount even before a customer asked for that, or somehow even made a notice that they would love to have it. So they actually left money on the table. And after some analysis, and it was proven with the content analysis of the conversations, automatically, I would say. And then the work with those people were done. So they changed their behavior inside the contact center and got better interest rates. Okay, but too many talks. Let me stop sharing my screen and go to share it again on a demo to show you some examples, how it really works with hands-on system. I stop sharing this and I start sharing the different screen. If you could please send me a message in chat that you see now the demo of the system, so I be sure that you see it. Somebody, or Q&A. If you see the Q&A in the bar of the Zoom, could you please write me that you see my screen? Thank you, Leonardo. Great, so you see the demo. Okay, and I will go directly. I will not show you all the dashboards and everything. Let's go to the analysis and the conversations itself. So when we go to the conversations, and we have, okay, this is a demo with a lot of different languages, but let's find the English language, right? So let me check the team. I select customer service team. Okay, so my customer service team works with English language. These are fake calls. Don't don't pay attention too much. So we do not discover any secret or sensitive information. So I have all the conversations in the contact center. Right now from the customer service team, I have approximately 310 conversations found. And I want to understand what's going on in this contact center. So I go to the analytics and I see some of the dashboards already created, but I can create my own. So when I go to the conversations, I see that some of the calls are with verification and some calls are without, even for incoming communication. And I know that in my bank or financial service company, for the customer service team, that's not possible to handle the conversation without, first of all, making the verification of a client. So I want to check what's going on here and why there is no verification. And from this dashboard, which is quite easy to create, I just click to the calls for the agent that is of my interest, Isaac Newton, and calls without verification. So I just open it and the system shows me all the calls where the verification didn't happen. So I can just go here and check what's going on. And that's interesting that in my system, this is actually not the inbound, but outbound. So my agent called the client and talk to them. So I can revert to my IT team asking, like, for example, guys, why our outbound communication is marked with inbound communication? So it spoils all my statistics. And this is not only the one thing that we can easily track, but for example, if I want to check, let's imagine something like, do I have clients that are dissatisfied with the service? So I select the team, which is customer service. And I want to check all the conversations with the dissatisfaction in the client channel. So I select the tag that was preliminary created for the dissatisfaction. And I can show then how it looks like and why these conversations are marked with the dissatisfaction. And in this conversation, I see, first of all, it starts with the greeting, then verification. Then I see already that this is a repetitive call and client marks that they are called already for the third time. And here is coming dissatisfaction starting. So I want to hear how was it happening. I click to the timestamp and it starts playing for me exactly that part of the conversation. And if I want to check everything in this conversation with the text, I just scroll down and I see again, the verification continues so long, 4 minutes already, and it's still in the verification phase. And then customer files a complaint. Okay, so I want to create the dashboard that would show me why my customers are dissatisfied. So when I go to the analytics, I can create a new, let me a little bit move this bar of Zoom. Okay, so I want to create a new dashboard with the client dissatisfaction. First of all, so I already see how many calls are without dissatisfaction and how many are with dissatisfaction. But I want to check not only the dissatisfaction, but maybe related to something. So I just add another tag, like for example, ATM problem and dissatisfaction. Is there any? No, but I can create as many such dashboards as I need. So once the dissatisfaction and ATM problem clashes in one conversation, I will immediately see this on my dashboard. Or maybe other things, like not ATM, but something different. So in this case, we manually create preliminary tags. What are the tags? If we go to the analytics and tags, we can see that there are already some tags for the conversations created, like ATM jammed my card, ATM doesn't work, some damage description, dissatisfaction with these words, but could be different, verification. Okay, do I have, I saw one example of the verification and client dissatisfaction. How many of those I have? Or the repetitive call, I told you already, so maybe my clients are mainly dissatisfied with the repetitive calls or something different. So in my dashboards in analytics, I can create many of those, so they will be stable there. Every time I go in, I can see this. So I want to create something and leave it to be in the system forever, or okay, for some time. So first of all, the client verification and the client dissatisfaction. So how many of those are actually dissatisfied? Okay. So I see that the incoming verification and dissatisfaction are in those conversations together. So they are less than the calls with the verification, but I still see a significant amount of conversations with verification and the dissatisfaction in them. So I want to call this and save for the future. So once in the future, such conversations will be tagged or identified by the system, that the verification happened and the client was dissatisfied inside this, then I will see all of those conversations and I can easily go to them, drill down to that conversation to check the content. And if I check the content, I can take an action. So what's important in this root cause analysis? First of all, to set up all the topics and tags that we need. So actually, I can, during the process of quality assurance, I can create as many different situations and tags as I need for the future. And when I see those, it's really easy to create. So I want to create cashback service, for example. If we have such in the company, and I want to monitor everything that is related to the cashback service, and I can give the examples how people name the cashback. So I save here just one cashback service. And when I go to the conversations, I want to have this tag. I'm not sure if I have it right now. Let me check this. So I have this tag. And I want to see those conversations with the cashback. Okay. No conversations. Why? Because we just created the tag, but the system didn't get any new conversation with such tag. That's why I do the retagging. So my system allows me to get the historical data and just retag all the sessions with this new tag. So imagine that you work in the call center and you just discovered that sometimes during the QA process, maybe during just random selection of the conversations to check or something else, you discovered some problem and you want to see how many of such problems already occurred during the previous period. So you can just create a new tag, retag all the conversations for, let's say, 3 months back. And then let me check it if it's already done here. For 300 conversations, it should be quite easy and fast. So I just want to check, do I have those conversations here? And one more, that my agent talk about, that my agent talk about the cashback service too. Yep, we got it. So my clients do not mention cashback service, but I see that my agents already offer a cashback service. So such fast work with the data, with the context of the conversation is really a powerful tool to create first root cause analysis. And if we able to create a very flexible dashboards to see the problems related to what, the complaints related to what exactly, so that this gives us, let's say, a first step into really good root cause analysis. Of course, if we then add the historical data of communication with the client, we add the history of buying the products from CRM or others, then we can we will be able to create much more sophisticated charts and reports to see this. But what's interesting about the modern systems, that it's not only playing with the data, discovering something, but modern systems can notify us almost in real time that something is happening. And by creating triggers in the system, we can actually get not by reports, but real-time notifications. For example, here is created a notification from conversations where a client was dissatisfied, send immediately an email. So what it will do, when the system detects the conversation with the client dissatisfaction or on some topic, or without a topic, just general dissatisfaction, it will immediately send a notification to a mentioned person. So if I'm a manager of a customer service team and I want to receive all the notifications about complaints, I just create a trigger for that. So I create a trigger. The source is conversation. It can be phone call, it can be live chat, it can be email, whatever. And then I want to add the rule that emotion, okay, it could be emotion or could be client complaint. And I will be the receiver of this notification with my email. So when the system will define the complaint, it can send me this notification, but maybe I want not just a complaint. I want also that the duration of the conversation should be more than 300 seconds. Or I want this also to be an emotion, angry, not just a complaint. And the strong emotion should be like 60% of angriness in the conversation, and many, many more parameters I can add. So it will notify me absolutely exactly on those conversations filtered by this conditions, by these conditions. So if we go to the conversation back, what we can act on, first of all, okay, I've got this information about the client complaining. I can see what's going on. What should I do? In different organizations, there are different processes on working with complaints, dissatisfied clients, or maybe some problems. Or if I see that many clients now contacting us about the ATM malfunction or something, I should probably notify our technicians or other team who can handle this. So I can create, I can share this conversation with my team, send an email. It will not pop up at the moment, yes, but I will not send this directly. So I can create already to my other team a notification, and it will be the conversation. I can add here ATM problem or whatever, and send them some details. So they will be able to go to the system and check themselves that, okay, so this customer was calling, the ATM at that place is not working. So we have to send somebody to fix it now. And many of those notifications, real-time dashboards, and everything can be created easily. There is no need to apply business analysis team, data science team, wait many hours and make it work together. Even without having all of this infrastructure integrated, just with one solution of speech analysis or conversation analysis, with creating the triggers, with creating real-time dashboards, it is possible to go into root cause analysis with a lower cost inside the organization and be helpful for everybody and improving customer satisfaction. I tried to be very concise in 30 minutes. Thank you very much for listening. There will be a recording. I will stop share the screen now and go back to sharing my presentation. Just a second, please. Okay. It's just shows not in the presentation mode. But we wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for being with us at our last webinar for this year. If you think that this was interesting and you would like to discuss this topic in more details, please contact me on LinkedIn or via email. You would probably find some information or contacts on LinkedIn event from us. And I'd be happy to discuss the root cause analysis and your approach currently to this problem or to this topic. And see you next year. Thank you. Bye.